tatty old Ford 6410. Some machine. Lion. That's not good. So I have a mangle around this shaft. Oh my god. For ventilation purposes. So today is adventurous stuff. Thinking about making hay. The sky mightn't look like it now. It's pretty overcast. The sun's trying to break through, but the weather is forecast extremely hot for the next 2 days. Possible showers, but I'm living in hope, and then back to extremely hot weather. So the bit of ground where I made the hay last year, you might have seen me wrestling with it that time and machinery breaking down and all the rest. Gonna try and make hay on that again. It's not particularly heavy, but it should be nice grassy sheep hay. But anyway, first job back on machinery hire job. It is the Neighbour's New Holland T6 180. Lovely tractor to drive. Kind of suits just to be at now. You'll see me, I'm a little bit hunched over. I was on another little job picking out rams for sales and DNA samples and registration and all the rest, and even though I was using the equipment as good as I could, I still had to physically wrestle some of them just to pick them out of their different batches, and hard work, and the back's a bit delicate. Right in between my shoulder blades is tight, and I kind of hunched over, so oddly enough I can work bent over or stooped over, but it's difficult to stand up straight. But we'll work around it, we'll keep going. The tractor's nice and comfortable. I'd say I'll be okay. First job, change blades here. So because this cover, or this bracket is broke, and the cover's just barely sitting there, just about sitting there, I'm just going to stick a bungee cord on it, clip it back down here, because I really don't fancy that cover coming down on me. When you're working in here trying to change blades, the last thing you want is that thing swinging forward. There is a bar mounted on the machine here for this job. It is not the easiest job in the world. From what I remember of doing this, it's not the easiest job in the world to change these. But so with these blades you have a left and a right. You'll see an arrow on the blade. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the way I always remember which direction to go is the outside drum is always cutting in this way, and it's always cutting with the angle facing down, and then the next disc the angle is facing that, so it's always cutting the one beside, it's always rotating the opposite way. That's kind of how I remember it. So it brings the grass in between the two discs, and then this one's working the same in here and in here. So I've definitely seen blades in a worse condition, but you see they've had a bit of a beating of stones around it. But I've seen contractors with blades where they are almost completely round here. Then the farmer's complaining, why is my field's not mowed very clean? Well, that's probably the answer why. Well, forward speed as well. That's the other killer on this job. Maybe going a little bit too fast, but you can understand why the contractor would want to be moving on. Okay, all blades changed. I'll just check my directions are right. There are no mistakes. Yeah, all good. That's the cutting end of it, right? So you'd know it's been on a dairy farm. You'll see all the muck and dung on the bed, but when it gets my bit of grass cut, it will be well cleaned up at that stage. I'll just stick this bar back on. I hope I won't want to, but it's always handy to have it in case you break a couple of blades. I'm just going to grease it for the farmer here. Pin and bush grease I always recommend for this job, because wearing parts, I see it on my own little track machine. You put ordinary multi-purpose grease, pins are dry in no time. You put this stuff on it, it lasts so much longer, at least 4 times longer. So it's much better for these hard wearing pivot points. Okay, that's all the wear points greased now. Now, in order to grease the PTO shaft, I'm just changing back to multi-purpose grease. It's better for the bearings in the Hardy Spicer and the PTO. You could use the pin and bush grease, but I've had experience of bearings being a bit tight after, a bit slow. I don't know, it's probably not great. It's better to have the multi-purpose grease for bearings. So usually the grease point is in on the centre of the Hardy Spicer, but on this one it's on the end of one of the caps. It's a really handy spot to have it. I've never seen them there before. Oh, I need to clean out my grease. I need to clean out the tube here. So what I'll do is I'll actually grease some of the more important points on the tractor, which would be probably that. Grease that as well. Now, so I can see it's just starting to change colours back to the onto the lithium grease, or the multi-purpose grease. Get this greased here. Okay, that's that one done. Yeah, so actually you can grease it in through the cover there. Pretty handy. That's the easiest shaft I've ever seen to grease. Lovely. Just see a bit of grass. I think there's a cover supposed to be on that to cover that slip clutch. I'll just see a bit of grass wrapped around that. Not ideal. Try and get that off. Wouldn't be great for the seal in this gearbox. Grass, baler twine, a wire. There's a real killer on seals on these gearboxes. I don't think there's any damage done on that. Should be okay. Get this shaft back on. So there's one little place on this mower which is very important to be able to see. I'm just cleaning off some of this grass. It's used as a topper for most of its life. Yes, this arrow here is very important for me to be able to see that from the cab. So the idea is when you have it in working position that that head sits here. Okay. Now, so what I'm just after remembering is that on the Crone mower there's a great wee box here for actually keeping your blades. So I've took out some of these old kind of worn blades. They're pretty bad. See, they're gone a bit rounded there, and I've put some of the new blades in here ready to go. So this box clips in here, so it clips in here on the front of the mower. It's a great wee spot for it there. You have your blades stocked in there and your bar for the changing them, so it means you don't have to go looking for any more tools when you have a problem in the field. Anyway, that's me. I think I'm ready for road here. We'll get this back down. Oh, I've one more wee job to do. So the rope, this rope is broken. There's a little pull cord here, and that's for lifting that plate there, for changing it from working position into road position where you lift the mower up. And the farmer actually had this tied up. He had it tied back up to this little pin here. What was happening was when he tilt the mower up, it was bogging the heel back in. So really it needs to be in that position there, down, for the working position. Anyway, I want to see if I can find a bit of rope and fix that. This wee wheel that the rope runs in is a little bit tight. Probably would not have helped the lifespan of the rope. We'll put a bit of grease on it. Can only help. Yes, much better. Right, that is my rope, I hope at the right length. Just remember to clip that on. So I've just found a couple more grease points and I couldn't actually see them with this cover down. But now they have it up, hardy spices are up, we'll give that a wee grease. So it's supposed to fall on gravity, that. So I'll just try and show you maybe what the importance of this rope is. So you pull that to lift that flap. You'll see when I pull the, you see it locks in there and I can't tip the bed up anymore. But when I let it back down again, I pull that up. So it means then I can tip the bed fully up then on the more depth side. Close that window. There we go. That's the top link, freed up a bit. Pretty important, I wouldn't have been able to do that in the field. But it's a bit rusty. But that's important because it tilts the mower forward. You see the bed of the mower where the blades are, it tilts that forward. and it'll cut the grass nice and tight for me, so it's pretty important I done that bit of work. So the bit of ground I'm going to mow is actually 10 miles away from the home place here. I'm just sitting on the tractor here, ready to roll. I've the lunch and all packed here. My good wife Orla threw me together a bit of lunch for off-road work today. And I was promised 4, maybe 5 good days on the forecast. And now that's changed to 3 really good days, but definitely rain on the Sunday. So I'll have whatever's left of today, but half today, plus 3 really good days. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get hay made, so I really have to scratch my head now and decide, am I going to chance mowing it? Oh, I don't really want to make silage. It's too far away to start drawing silage home. The hay is much easier to handle. Plus, it's not going to make that terribly good quality silage. So, scratch the head here for a while and figure it out. We'll see. Now, so I've got a round and a half done of this field, but this is a south facing field. You'll see the sun is just kind of up this direction here. I think I'm going to mow this field in here. Now, because my window of opportunity for this job is going to be quite short, but I'm going to move into this other field because this field is, it's always been a little bit heavier and it's a harder field to win the hay in. So I'm moving into this field. This field is, you'll see we're still getting a bit of sun. The sky is bright out there. I'll get it knocked now. At least I'll get the sun for the rest of today. It'll do a little bit of killing, as we call it, on it, where it's trying to, where it's drying the grass out. So anyway, we'll let this machine down here. That's it. Okay, that's the right position there. PTO on. Get her up to speed now. We're at 550 there, but we're back to 9. We start to move, the PTO speed will drop back to 540. Okay. So look, it's mowing pretty well in here. Definitely heavy though, really, really heavy grass. Okay, I'm going to pay attention. I'm on the back and swat here, and it's the risk of some storm branches out, so I'm just going to put the camera down and try and concentrate here. First field mowed, and actually knocked it not too bad. It's mowing pretty well, it's nice and clean. The sun is starting to come out, hazy sunshine. I'm giving myself 50-50 now at the minute if I'm actually going to get hay on this, but we shall see, we shall see. Into the next field here. Now, that's field number 2 done. It's very green looking, but thankfully the sun, sky is breaking here, cloud is breaking, sun is starting to come out. If we got that sun for the rest of the day, we'd be well on the way by Sunday, I think. So it's 1 o'clock, getting a bit peckish here, and thanks to a good self Orla, I have a few sandwiches with me here, keep me going. It's been a while since I was eating out in the field on site. There's something nice about it. Brings me back to my younger days of tea in a bottle in a shock and a few sandwiches at the hay. That's a 9-minute pit stop out of the way. Unfortunately, I didn't want a chance eating while driving with somebody else's tractor and mower on pretty rough ground. I'm actually in the spot here. You might see the wheel tracks there. You'll see the dints on the ground there. That's where the high-risk pilot managed to get stuck. If you haven't seen that clip, this is it. Oh my God, me good feet! Look at me feet! You're an animal! And if I wasn't paying attention, I'd be straight into that. You could break the mower pretty handy, so you need to be alert. Anyway, I've my 10 minutes clocked in now, so I hope I don't pay for that a bit later on. I was very close the last time, but we'll see. We'll keep going here. Pretty nice view out there, but as you can see, it is not particularly heavy in this field, so I'll be a bit more confident in here that I should get my hay dried up before the rain comes on Sunday. Really, I could put sheep in on it, graze that, and maybe top it after a month or so, but when I'm not stuck for grass and the weather is good, it should make really good hay. Just when things were going extremely well, after hitting a bit of a snag, and a big snag. Oh my god, look at this for a mess. Thistle stuck in the middle of it now, so I have a mangle around this shaft. Oh my god. So I've no gloves with me myself, but I've just found the farmer's slurry gloves because there's thistle stuck in the middle of this. Not nice stuff to be handling. Oh my god, there's going to be some ripping on this to get it off. Jesus Christ. Now, we're getting there. Probably the most important part to get out here is this bit. There we go, not good. You see what's actually pushed the seal in a little bit, that grass. So, definitely going to have to get a cover for that. Anyway, some heap of grass pulled off that. Right. That's 20 minutes wasted there. I've still one more little field to cut. We're just doing the back and swat here on this field. So you can see where I actually gathered that grass from here. So it didn't take very far to get it all tangled up. Anyway, I'll throw this out here. Quite a bit of thistles here in this bit. Anyway, it's great to see the sun out. That'll cook well now. Lovely job. On my back. Oh, that wasn't nice on the back. Anyway, we'll keep going here. So got the back and swat done after that disaster with the tangle around the shaft. Got it cleared, not too much thorns in the hands, but the sun is out and look at that. You can watch this grass dry in here. That is some size. So you can see it turning from a dark green to a lighter kind of shade of green on the top there. So by maybe 11 o'clock tomorrow, I hope to be down here shaking it out, but it is dry and nice. If that sun stays out, it'll be some help to the job. Anyway, right on to this last little field across the road here. Pretty heavy in here. I'm not sure if 3 days will rear this. Last couple of runs here. plates look pretty good. I didn't hear a rattle of one stone. I don't think I hit any stones, thankfully. But just look at that view, unbelievable. It's really nice down here along the lakes. It's lovely and good weather like this. It's pretty marginal land. You can see it's still pretty wet there. We're in midsummer now. Like, it is marginal, but it grows grass. But it's not the kind of land you'd be travelling in here with big machinery now in the winter time. Most of the time that's covered in water actually. The water comes right the way up to that weed line as well. That is dry and lovely. Unbelievable what that has done there in a few hours. If I got 3 days of that, I'd be flying. You see how dry that is on top? Anyway, we're going to leave it here for now. We'll let the sun do its thing. And I'm going home to resurrect a very old tractor and try and organise a tether for shaking this out. Back home in my yard here, tractor and mower back here. I just want to check something. I'm a bit worried after that grass getting tangled around this, and this looking a little bit oily here. Looks a bit weepy. I want to check the eye level in this. I presume that is the drain bung, that's the level bung, and that's the air breather up on top. So if I open that one, I can top it up to that level there. Anyway, we'll see what's going on in here. Doesn't look to be much oil in here. There is some oil, but it is well down below that level there. 80-90 gear oil will do the job for that. So I have a big drum of it here. Right, there's only one thing for this. I'm going to have to get a model number of that, a serial number, get this cover and get that seal and replace that at a later date. But at least that's reasonably safe now for working again. My wife, what are you waddling about for?
I was imitating you.
Come here.
Would you fly over?
Yeah, no, that's for ventilation purposes. Orla, come here.
Look at you.
Come. Yeah, I'm bent over. She's laughing at me. I'm bent over like an old man here. Back issues, Orla, but we'll keep going.
Not from hard work.
Well, you wouldn't say I was idle now in the last few days. Them rams really took their toll on me now. I'm no spring chicken, you see.
It needs your job for you to make a couple of doors for that utility.
I'll get there, Orla. It's the last thing she's looking for done in the utility. Hasn't been an update in that in a while, but...
Because there is no
we're using the new toilet door free. It's like a...
Yeah, we don't have any secrets in this.
Yeah. Now, Orla, you won't see me for a couple of days. I'm on hay. Will you manage without me?
You can straighten or loosen out that back and bring in the groceries.
Oh, you have shopping here?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, I'll do that for you.
Good work.
Could finish me, but I'll do it for you. Right, anyway, I get that job done for the boss and we'll catch up with you in a bit.
See you later.
She's getting good, isn't she? So some of the eagle-eyed viewers might have spotted this machine in the background of some of the other videos. And it is a tatty old Ford 6410 and 1992 machine that came from Mayo originally. She looks rough. She's a 33-year-old tractor, but on the button, going well. But it needs some TLC, definitely needs TLC. Leaking oil on the power steering, little oil leak on the back end here. Somewhere there, I'm not sure where, but we will discover that a bit later. So it is, as we call it, straight off farm condition. Still some old fence wire and meat bags and bits and pieces still in the cab. I got it home and have not as much as looked at it since. I've been busy, but now it is time for this machine to do some work. So something that badly needs to be done is the oil changed. The oil, I'm pretty sure, is in a bad state of affairs. Now, I would have changed the oil in this the last time. I bought this off a farmer I know. It is pretty sludgy stuff in there. And the last time the oil was changed on it, I cannot remember. I actually can't remember. But that'll give you an idea. Look how old the filter looks. I'm not sure how much I'm going to do with it. I have a full kit for it. I have a kit to fix that. I have all the filters. I might just do the oil for now because I want to go and pick up a tether to get ready to go in the morning. So might do the bare minimum. The oil is pretty important. We'll check the other essentials on it. But yeah, look, so we'll drop the oil out of it and see what it's like here.
Daddy?
Yeah.
You can come back to me.
Ah. You can help me, Noah, yeah.
Wow. This is feed again.
Yeah.
We can't do worse. I'm thinking
I have the full crew out helping me here, just on the oil change. Noah, you're going to tighten the wheel nuts, probably no harm. Anya, how are you doing?
Oh, can we feed the lambs?
You can feed the lambs, no problem. We'll just have to let the pet lambs out of the shed. Ada, how are you getting on? Yeah?
Good.
You need some repairs done there too?
Yeah.
You have a rattle, have you?
Very bad one.
Oh, what is it? What do you think it is?
I don't know, but just listen to it.
I think I know. It's probably that, Ada.
No, it's not that. I got
It's this then. It's this cover.
It's the pedals.
Is it?
You got a new one, did you? Look.
Oh, I see what it is. Your chain hitting the cover. I'll fix that for you.
Yep.
So it's that cover there that's hitting it. That's it fixed. No problem. Now there'll be no charge for that.
Can you squish this in?
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Right, how's my eye looking? Yeah, she's draining away nicely. So we'll get this filter dropped off here.
My one is soft. Yeah, I do it. My one is soft, Dada.
Is it?
Yeah.
So the G-clamp will get you out of trouble if you need it. My filter wrench is actually in the back of the Land Cruiser, which is off getting a bit of work done, getting it shot blasted underneath to try and keep it alive. So
I love my mama.
yes, I'm down my filter wrench, that's why I'm using a G-clamp, but it will get you out if you're in trouble.
Let me.
That's the boy, you know what?
Let me get the
You're a very busy boy there. What are you at? Are you taking the wheel off?
thing.
That's a good job you're doing.
I need a step.
Don't lose any of my sockets now.
What diva?
Oh dear.
What dipper?
You're some dude.
Okay, we'll go there. Right.
No, so that is power steering topped up. Let's get this bonnet up, see what's going on in here. Oh, that doesn't look nice. A lot of rust on that radiator. Is that a head gasket problem? this cap off. Some water, but not very much. Very rusty looking. But that's promising. It only took 2 of those to fill it. Door's a little iffy on it. Cab needs a good clean out. But that's the oil change. Let's see if she'll start. 4,645 hours. Let's see if it'll start now. Okay, so we have power steering. Some we could do it. We could do it putting some more oil in it. But we have some power steering. Definitely some. Okay, I think we're ready to go and collect this rake. The man that owns it is going away on holidays for a week tonight, so I want to get over to him before he heads off on holidays. We'll just check the back end oil here, the level in that, and it is full, yeah, just at the full mark. And the reason I'm checking that oil level is because I have a small oil leak here. You can see it's quite oily on top of the casing there, but I just screwed off the cover of the PTO, and quite a bit of oil in there, so definitely a seal gone in there. That's another little job that will have to be done, but not today and not tomorrow. We'll get this hay out of the way first. Right, on a wish and a prayer, we shall chance it to go and pick up this rake. We'll see how it goes. Some machine. And we're away. Lion. See what tomorrow brings now when it's 25 degrees and no air conditioning. Anyway, we cross that bridge when we get to it. So, we've got a warning light on here. I think that's to tell me my air filter is blocked. We'll have to check that when we get home. We've got our tether hooked on here. We'll see you at home. That is bad. Now, that's my alarm for bedtime. Oh, tired now, back still sore. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, we're ready for road. We'll hope we'll make it to 10 miles down the road. We'll see you down there. Just arrived and the old 6410 is going surprisingly well. Very little blow on the engine there. If the engine had quite a lot of wear in it, it'd be a big blow on it. What about the hay? It has done serious dry in here, but it's very green and very wet underneath. So the only hope is get it shook out. You'll see the sun is over this direction. The two fields up here are facing that way. I'm going to leave this one till after. So like the mowing, I'm going to ted the ones facing the sun first. We hope we can get set up here. PTO. Oh, you're tight. There we go. PTO on. Okay, I think we lift off. Very nice job. And that is shaking that out very well. It's unbelievable how much faster this is than my old 135 and the Lily 300, the rake you would have seen me using last year. It is so much faster. There's a glimmer of hope that we get this. We'll see, we'll live in hope. Okay, first field done in no time. 15 minutes I'd say I have this field done. Unbelievable how fast that them extra two rotors are. Great job. That should dry nice. The heat is shocking on this tractor. I have the aircon on now. Yeah, just joking. This is my aircon here, as you can see. Two windows open and it is getting pretty warm. Wouldn't be used to this heat in a cab. My little 135 has far superior air conditioning of any machine. Just in the next field here, and it seems a little bit greener, but it's not as heavy. So we'll see, we might get it made. I'm not sure if it will dry out enough by Sunday, but it's shaking it out well anyway. Heat on this tractor, I am cooked, but some dust off that. It is drying well here. Oh, job done, and it is looking good. Right, let's try and get this thing parked up here. Temperature's up a little bit. definitely up a wee bit, but not too bad. Right, I'm gonna bring me key because this is kind of a public enough spot. Mother's just picking me up here. The rake is a serious job. There's that tethered out, nice job done. And my old handy little tractor is doing a dandy job. It's doing a grand job. What's this here like? That is unbelievable how much that has dried. Unbelievable, and that was only cut yesterday. Now there's a lot of green in it. It's going to have a lot to do. Today is Thursday. It's going to have a lot to do.
Which of us timed it the best?
I'd say you timed it to perfection. Granny Lila, well, my mother's just here to pick me up. She's bringing me home to get the van. You couldn't have timed it any better now.
Well, I'll never get this reared, that's all I can say.
Yeah, well, all I'd say is it's the second clutch that killed our clocker.
That's for sure.
Yeah, right, we'll hit the road here. Now, that little building up there, little stone building, was the first building that Mother taught in, wouldn't be today or yesterday now.
Way back in 1966.
So Mother dropped me over for the main man's combo. So the Amazon's still away getting shot blasted underneath. I will have that back soon enough. But luckily enough, the main man is away and he left the keys of the combo. He says, drive that joke, I'll look after it. So that's what we're doing. So it's unbelievable what this has dried since I was away. You can see how white it's getting already. Unbelievable. And the bits of green underneath there, but it is dry and lovely. So I'm going to spin this out again. This is one of the heavier parts here. I'm definitely going to turn this out again. Okay, right. So just before I left, this baby was kind of getting a little bit hot, and I hope there's not much pressure in that. No, it's not too bad. It's well cooled down now. Been gone for an hour now. But I think it's because I just had a look here. I think my fan belt is a little bit loose. That's never going to help when the pressure's on. She is a little bit low in water. So I brought a wee bottle here just to top it up. It hasn't lost that much water at all. But definitely this radiator could do with a good flush out, wash out. Even the fins are a bit dirty. But we're finding all these problems as we're using it. The temperature's gone up, but it hasn't actually got, the tractor hasn't got hot at all, but definitely a couple of bits need improving in there. Do it washing out that radiator and tightening that fan belt. Yeah, you can see how loose that is in there. So that's never going to help when she's under load. Another little job I want to do is, I found my steering getting a little bit heavy. I want to top up my reservoir. You'll see it's quite oily there, but it doesn't look oily enough to have lost all the oil. I think it's lost. So I'm just wondering, I think a problem is they let the oil, the power steering oil, into the engine. So my oil level is definitely high here. Not very high, but it's up a little bit. So I think that's potentially where my oil is going, into the engine. But anyway, definitely have to top it up because I'm finding the steering very hard to operate. So yeah, it's pretty low. Right, okay, that's enough. Okay. Is it just something about hay that really tests equipment? So now my tractor won't start. I'm just getting a click on the starter. Jesus Christ. Nope, definitely not get. This baby's definitely not going to start. Oh yes! Lovely. Right, we'll get going here. Now, one thing for certain sure is, flying a drone is tricky enough at the best of times. Well, anybody can fly a drone, but to fly one with reasonable quality footage and drive a really old tractor with wobbly steering while you're trying to ted hay is very tricky. But we've got some footage. Mightn't be that fancy, but some footage for the job anyway. Some dust coming off it already. Drying pretty well here. Just gone the full air con. I really hope the door doesn't fall off this, but I had to open it. The heat in this thing is a shock. Not used to a cab. Take me little 135, a wee Massey any day of the week. Anyway, a couple of trees here from the storm still down. We job to the main man when he gets back. Oh, I'm on fire here. It's extremely hot. But thankfully, the sun is back out. Yeah, that'll help to dry it. So, I'm just going to get out here. Oh my god, I'm getting stiff here. Getting shook about in this tractor. But anyway, nice to see the sun back. So, it is unbelievable how much this is drying, because the more I think about it, I only finished mowing this yesterday. So, the drying that is done in 24 hours is unbelievable. Now it's pretty green, but it is at least halfway there, if not more. But you see quite a bit of green in that. But every time I shake it up, it's bringing a bit of that green back out. But you can actually see it drying. You can see the crispiness coming on the top layer. I think the secret is just keep turning it over. So, I might turn that bit over beside the other wee lake, the wee small bit that you saw me wetting the drone there earlier. Lens is all dust here. Just clean that. There's quite a bit of grass gathering up on these reels, but I don't think it's any harm. Serious dust there. If I had to clear this every time it gathers up, I wouldn't get any tedding done. Not sure if it's just the type of hay it is or the design of the machine, but definitely a lot of grass gathering up on that machine. But it's not really getting around the rotor. Don't see any problems with it around the reel. Right, okay, look at the dust coming off that. Unbelievable. Right, I have one more field to do. That is hot now, very, very hot. But 25 degrees here. We're generally not used to that kind of temperatures. Anything above 22 is pretty hot for us. But anyway, I need sunshine. And thankfully I'm getting it. Right, back into this sweat box here. Get this last one shook out. So, I think I've got a problem. The temperature seems to be climbing. Especially on the climbing up this long hill. And then it drops a little bit when I swing back around the corner. I'm just wondering, is it running low on water or is there something wrong? But thankfully the gauge is still working, because I wouldn't know only for that. Yeah, the gauge has dropped there already. So as soon as I start going downhill, the gauge drops quite a bit. But I've only literally 5 minutes left in this field, well, altogether. But I'd love to get it finished, and then that's 2 shakings or 2 teddings today. Right, we'll keep an eye on it. I am melted on this tractor. Some heat coming off that engine. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not good. bust hose. It's the old hose that runs down to a coolant filter here, and it is on fire. I hope there's no damage on that thing. Right, I'm gonna have to see if I can get a hose for that for tomorrow. Please don't explode. Couple of clips. So I need to replace that hose from there all the way up. And that one's probably not great either. Gee, oh my god, there's some heat in that. Unbelievable, the heat in that. Anyway, temperature gauge says I'm okay, so hopefully we've no damage done. The rake has held up nicely here. The only criticism of it is that grass building up, but it's not a major deal, I don't think. But it's some machine to shake out grass. I've covered some ground today, and if everything goes to plan, I really think that's going to be fit tomorrow evening. I just checked the phone. It's 27 degrees forecast for tomorrow. So if that doesn't win the hay, I'm going to quit. Tractor parked up for the night. Hay coming along pretty nice. Can't complain now. I would say tomorrow should finish it. Anyway, just going to jump in the old reliable combo here and head for the garage. Hopefully I'll get them before they close and see if I can get that water pipe. I'll be ready to get her fixed tomorrow. Look at this little boy coming to welcome us. Ah, Nelly! What are you at?
Oh, not much.
My little staff
Just
crew.
riding bikes and being wild.
The junior crew coming to welcome Daddy home. How are you?
Ben!
Hello, Tidy! How are you? And Ada, I know, Ada, you look a bit burnt like your daddy. Big red head,
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you just turned the keys in there. Anyway, it's good to see you. Right, I'm going to put the camera down. We'll catch up with you in the morning. Just arrived into the field here. I'm going to drive up. I'm going to chance driving up. It's a bit risky. There's a risk of getting hay tangled around prop shafts and CV joints and all the rest. But I'm hopeful it'll be okay. I did make the mistake a few years ago of bringing the Land Cruiser in to a field of hay like this. I got a bit of hay tangled around the prop shaft where it runs into the back axle, and it damaged the oil seal, and then I had to get a new seal. It wasn't actually that hard to fix it. I got a new seal from Toyota, but the problem is my tractor got hot way up the back of this bit of ground, and it is some journey to start lugging tools and water and all the rest up. So I'm going to chance driving up and live with the consequences if there's any. Hopefully there's not, but the sun is up. I hope this repair doesn't take too long. Really want to get going tedding this hay. So the plan is to get a chuck out now and hopefully be baling it this afternoon if all goes to plan, and I can get this tractor up and running with no major problems. We shall see. Now this is my hose I need to change here. It's in a pretty bad state of repair. When you see that, quite a hole in it. You can see where it blew out all the rusty water here. So getting to this clip here, I have to open the bonnet up to get in at it. Hopefully I can reach down through here. It doesn't give me any trouble, we shall see. I'm on it there, but yeah, it's loose now. Okay, I'm just putting water in this for now. I know it's going to need a good flushing out and a filter change and a few other pipes changed. But for now, to get me going, I'm just going to put water in it. For anyone that's interested, the rake I'm using, it is a Citrax RT 5200 HP. I was trying to figure out where it was made, but there you go, Italy. So an Italian made machine that I have never heard of before, know nothing about them, but it is a surprisingly good machine. Now, you will see the sweat is absolutely bucketing out of me here. It is only 11 o'clock in the morning. Just getting going after fixing that pipe. But the heat in this thing is unbelievable. And the engine hasn't even warmed up yet. So I've only one choice. And that is put on the permanent air conditioning here. With my two side windows open. Back window open. And I was only talking to a Ford man last night. My contractor, who hopefully will arrive before the rain today. We'll live in hope. But I was telling him about the heat on the tractor and he said there's only one thing for it. He says door open, pair of ice grips. And I presume that's the problem. These doors on the Super Q cab have a little shock absorber up here. And yeah, I can see the mark of ice grips there where somebody has done the same thing. Opened the door and clamped the ice grips on there. So it means the door can't close. That was the problem I was having yesterday. You'd open the door, you get this lovely blast of cold air, and then you turn down the hill and the door closes. So at least now the door will stay open and I'll have some hope of not cooking alive. But I've actually a funny story to tell you. I'll maybe piece this into the video as we're going. But when I was a younger man and I was over in England, for anyone that doesn't know, I went to Harper Adams and studied my engineering there, an engineering degree in the agricultural college. So it was basically agricultural engineering. But in order to have money to do that, I used to work the summer on the harvest down in the Cambridgeshire, Bedfordshire border on the southeast of England. And I really enjoyed it. It was long hours, 90, 100-hour weeks driving the combine harvesters. Got my fill of machinery that time. That's why you'll generally not see me doing that much with machinery except when jobs like this come up. But great money, earned super money for going back to college, paid for tuition, beer money, rent, big 2-litre Toyota Celica, favourite car I ever owned. But one time it was a case combine, an axial flow, I think it was a 2188 axial flow combine, a 22-foot header, 22-foot wide header for any of the machinery geeks. The aircon broke down. There was 3 of us running. My aircon was fine. The other Irish guy, Mick, his aircon was fine. But one of the older farm workers, Victor, who was there, he was retirement age. I think he was 65 or 6 and he was still driving away. But his air conditioning broke. And I think it was back in 2000, maybe 2001. It was probably the hottest spell of weather the UK has ever seen in memory, and it was 38 degrees that day. And I remember driving Victor's combine. I swapped with him, myself and Mick swapped, driving Victor's combine to let him use the air conditioning because it was so unbearable on the combine harvester with all the glass around it. And I broke a finger, hit a stone, broke a finger on my header. Got down to change that, and as soon as I opened the door I could feel the blast of cold air at 38 degrees. So I often wonder what temperature was it inside the cab of the combine. But I think it's going to be similar circumstances today. At least I can open my door. On the combine harvester you just couldn't open the door with the dust coming from the combining job, wheat or barley or whatever it was we were combining. But anyway, that's a story from 25 years ago. So we better get going here when the weather is good. Get at it. Just on day 2 now. You can see it's pretty dusty. It's heading very well. That's the first wee field done. I've done a couple of runs around that other field up there because of the very high trees there. It's a little bit green under that, so I said I'd shake that up when the morning is good and it's getting the sun. But this has shook up very well, I think. Yeah, you can hear the crisp of that. It's quite crunchy. You can hear the rattle of it, which is dry, and the dew is just lifted, so yeah, pretty confident now. I'm going to do another wee bit. Baler man said to ring him, fill him in what's going on, what the plan is, so I'll contact him in about an hour, just get him geared up. But for now, I'll keep going here. Yeah, it's light. There's a good crisp to it. Yeah, I think we'll ring our baler man, get him to come on. We'll see what sort of time he can work with. How are ya? Okay, machinery switched off at 3 o'clock, filled with diesel and started again at 5 o'clock. So it's unbelievable the hours that the machines are clocking in at the minute. So all we can do is pray that there's no breakdowns, because he is busy. He's going to a wedding in Italy tomorrow. So the pressure them men are under is unbelievable. Unbelievable. You have to take your hat off to them, that they can stick the pressure and the hours and the phone calls and the crying and all the rest. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, 3 o'clock should work well for me anyway. But all we can do is hope that it goes to plan. If you remember in the last hay video, it didn't go to plan, but we live in hope for this one. Now, getting pretty low on diesel here. You'll see my gauge is running very low, but I hope I've only a little bit left to finish in this field. I hope I'll have enough and the fall on the ground doesn't affect the level in the diesel tank. But as usual, we'll live in hope. Now we're going well. I would hope a half an hour will finish me in this field. Oh crap! 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 That's the last thing you want. Low in diesel. She's just after spluttering. She was just starting to splutter there, and I just pulled the stop. I knew it was pretty low. Well, going by the gauge, but I don't know if it's working properly. It's showing it's just down into the red. So I've no choice now but go and get a couple of drums of diesel here. I filled that machine before leaving the yard. I just wouldn't be used to these bigger tractors devouring diesel. The little 135 would run in the smell of stuff. Drum of diesel would last for days. Now just after rolling back up here, after losing valuable time, and not too long, I had my drum that I brought the water in, and I spilt out as much of the water as I could. So I have 2 drums of diesel for here. That's going to finish everything I need to do. Right, that's the couple of drums now. Let's see if she starts. Lovely job. Just want to start or leave a bit of a rev on it. I think we're okay. I think we're alright. I think I pulled the stopper in time. Lovely job. Right, now that's another field done, and the sweat is bubbling out of me. I have a problem with my air conditioning. The vice grips keep slipping. I'm going to have to upgrade them. These small vice grips just aren't up to the job. So I'm going to have to go for a bigger pair. Right, that's going to help. Heat's a shock. So, it's 28 degrees today. Just got the aircon on max here. 2 doors open. I can't cope with it. I don't really care if the doors fall off. No man could stick the heat in these machines. It's shocking, unbelievable. So, the way I'm looking at it is, if the door falls off, I'll fix it. But if I die of heat stroke, no fixing that. Geez, you couldn't have come at a better time, Lila. Look at this.
He says there's another lad coming here to the ground.
Geez, you're very good, Lila. How are you, Miss Fia?
Good.
Yeah. You're a great woman, Lila.
Did you not know that before now?
Mm.
You hold that.
Have to copy that on here.
Jesus, this is fancy stuff, Lila. What are you coming with?
Tea bread. Well, I don't know.
Right here, look! She's some woman. Now, fuel light on in the combo. Better get diesel here. Can't have two yokes running out of diesel one day. €78 in the combo. She'd run on the smell of stuff. Could get used to that. Different animal than the Amazon. She is thirsty compared to this baby. That's some sight, all baled. It's great to get them baled dry. Now, the reason I'm back down here, I had to go and fix a ventilation controller in a piggery, but the reason I'm back down here is this baby. So I have to go baling for my contractor. One of his drivers has to leave early. He's going to rugby match or something, so. Anyway, park the combo up here. I'm not sure, he reckons about 2 hours will finish what he's at. I think he's hay on, so I'll give him a hand. He's been fair play to him, he got my job done, so I'll help him out if I can. We're alright now, we're ready to roll.
Yeah.
Look at that, for some serious grass going into that reeler. Massive rows of hay here. I'm on fire here, no aircon. Difficult conditions here.
Aye. Yeah. Like a sauna, isn't it?
Aye. I'm driving the baler here with a young man, young Kyle here. You might remember Kyle from some of my lambing videos. He is 13 now.
Aye.
3 years he'll be out driving himself. Maybe you're driving already, are you?
Also try to be tipping around, and
Yes.
yeah, something.
No road walk, of course.
Yeah.
Little, maybe at the weekends.
Maybe.
Well, we're only going about 90 to 100 yards here to get him in. There's going to be some amount of bales on this.
Oh, serious.
Unbelievable.
Serious problem.
Yeah. So drafted in to do a bit of baling here. And not my... Just kind of learning the ropes here. But we're getting there. We're on manual on the clock. We have to cut. We have to net and tie manually. Because there's something wrong with the clock electrically. And nobody can figure it out. So... yeah, you have to be a little bit more on the ball, we'd say, but we're getting it done, we're getting it done. It wasn't me, it was not me. Thankfully there was a bush there. I will not take responsibility for that. Now, so, the problem with the manual clock is you get no alert from the baler to tell you that the bale is full. You just have to watch that little clock over on the left hand side there. And when it gets up to the green, you have to stop, put the net on manually, and then cut and tie it manually as well, or not tie it, but cut the net, and then you have to work the door manually. So I've no idea what it's supposed to do on automatic, but we're getting it done anyway. Probably just as well I don't know any different. You see the speed we're doing, crawling, it's the only speed we can go. Baler's not able to take it any faster. Alright, we'll put the camera down and concentrate on what I'm doing, because we don't want any disasters, Kyle.
No, better not crash into a bale.
Yes. You can't win them all, you cannot win them all. School by ear.
Take full responsibility for that one.
I will, I'll take responsibility for that. Messed up, didn't open the door enough. We get it pushed out with the front loader here. Hope we don't do any more damage. So I made a bit of a mess here with that bale. I don't know what happened. I didn't open the door fully, or not fully sure what happened, but anyway, we just had the one mess. But one mess was enough. But job done, just rolling out here now. The other tractor and baler's going on in front. Has to be the best hay I've ever made. Definitely good hay. Very, very happy with the few days work. Doesn't always go to plan, as you might have seen in my last hay video. Anyway, hay 2025, a success. A few ups and downs, but a success. I'm going to wrap today's video up on that note. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.